Most of us have family members that love to golf. Some are really good, but it takes a lot of skill and luck to drive, chip, and putt for par. However, even regular people like me can enjoy mini golf with a sculpture twist. To show what I mean, I called Bruce Stillman, the owner of the Big Stone Mini Golf Course and Sculpture Garden, and asked if we could please come for a visit. He said that would be fine, so we loaded up the cameras and here we are. Thanks, Bruce, for letting us come to visit.
You're welcome.
Tell me, what is your background?
Well, I started art when I was 15 in metal sculpting, and when I was 16 I built a bunch of little sculptures and sold them at art fairs and found my niche of what I wanted to do at a very young age and never stopped since then.
What did you use for your sculptures way back then?
Kind of soft copper and metal and steel wires, cutting it up, making little sports figures or wall hangings of trees and different things. I actually made a farm scene that ended up looking like this place.
Well, that brings me to the next question. How did you end up with this property?
Well, I bought this in '91 and I kind of wanted to do landscape sculpture, and it was just a hayfield, so I kind of called it a blank canvas and started doing landscape sculpture. The very first one was out of necessity because there was a pile of garbage and I couldn't pick it up anymore. There was all broken glass and things, and I piled it up and made this igloo out of cobblestones, never knowing it would end up being part of the goat pen in Goat Mountain. I just kind of, one thing led to another and just kept building things. And then the practical side of me thought, well, why don't you do mini golf fine art? You know, make these golf holes like sculptures, and the idea worked.
How big is this property?
It's 17 acres, kind of a triangle shape. Since we got started, it's our 22nd year, and we just keep adding things every year. The mini golf revenue was doing so well that I became an art collector. So now I collect mostly Minnesota artists, and there's 15 different artists have at least one work here. And we mix it in with farm animals and the gardens and other fun games. We got ping pong and giant chess and cornhole and bocce ball.
So were there a lot of trees here when you started?
Oh, my theory is kind of work with nature. I started some pine trees, but most of the landscape is volunteer trees make their way into the sculpture park. And in the beginning, there wasn't much shade, and now we're trimming trees.
Did you have an idea of what you wanted to develop when you got started?
Not really. I wanted to do a mini golf and never knew it would be a sculpture park, but I kept getting inspired by what I was doing, and it led to the next idea. And I kind of use feng shui, where to place new artwork, so it just makes a good flow of what people see when they view all the art.
How did you come up with your name?
Well, some days I wish I was a jeweler. I like big rocks, and I bought a big hoist, you know, a boom truck, and it was part of doing large landscapes. And that there's a rock quarry in St. Cloud that would have a lot of big scrap rocks, and I collected those. There's a lot of like refrigerator-sized blocks, and that was a building that was tore down in the 60s in Minneapolis called the Metropolitan Building. And it was a stone company in Delano that's been closed for 25 years, but it was just stored there, and it went up for sale like 15 years ago, so I bought half the building, which was over 100 of these big rocks, and use them in some of the projects.
Now, who keeps all of this up, or who does all the maintenance here?
Well, sometimes I feel like I'm doing the job of 3 people, but I have one full-time staff person, another almost full-time, and he helps organize kids that run the clubhouse for when golfers come. You know, you give them the golf club and we can sell some packaged ice creams and refreshments. But, you know, there's just about a little handful of us running the place.
Wow. What are the animals that you have here too?
Well, we have 10 new baby goats, and that makes a total of about 20 goats. and there's a Scottish Highlander cow, a mini mule, and I don't know, a dozen chickens and a couple of ducks running around.
Do the animals stay here year-round?
Yeah, we kind of put them in the barn in the winter, and you know, they're happy to get out this spring and eat the fresh grass.
Well, and I noticed there's a garden too. Is that yours?
Yeah, it's part of the idea of just showing fine art in a different environment. So we have a little apple orchard and vegetable gardens, and the mix in with all the games and the art.
And what is the season that you're open here?
We kind of go from as soon as the weather's nice, people want to come, so mid-April to the very end of October.